When we talk about sugar, we either think of this or this, right? Yes. But in reality, sugars occur naturally in our carbohydrates, in our fruits, in our vegetables, and dairy products. Now, let's talk about this. Is sugar really bad for you? I know you have your answer. If you are at a crossroad asking yourself, is sugar really bad for me? Should I keep on consuming sugar? This video is for you. So sit back, let us go into details to finding out if sugar is really bad for us. Our body needs sugar in form of glucose to function. It needs it for energy and needs it for fuel, especially our brain. So our brain make use of sugar in form of glucose, but it does not end there. You also get to understand that sugar comes in different types and in different forms. Now let's look at the different types of sugar. It could be simple sugar. This is where we have things like glucose, fructose. The simple sugars are otherwise known as monosaccharide, and this is the form which the body absorbs any form of sugar. It doesn't matter how it comes, whether it came as carbohydrates or you consumed it as fruit or you ate it, or you took more of vegetable. The body has to break it down to the simple sugar, the glucose, the fructose, before it can be absorbed into the body. We normally do blood glucose level, right? Yes. So when we want to check for blood sugar, what we talk about is blood glucose. Now, when it comes to forms, sugar can come as added sugar or naturally occurring sugar. Examples of the naturally occurring sugars are the sugars in our fruits, our vegetables, and our dairy products. The added sugar include our free sugar, which is the sucrose, the table sugar we usually put in our teas, in our pap, in our cassava flakes, in different food, to enhance the taste, to give it a better taste. Also, added sugars can be found in our biscuits, in our cakes, ice creams, ketchup, desserts, all those sweet things, donuts, name it. Several of them, and I know you also know them. Other sugar also include honey. Some people come up to say, I don't eat sugar, I only eat honey. Well, let me shock you. Honey, sugar, they are all the same thing. In short, they have the same components when it comes to sugar. The number of glucose and fructose in your table sugar, your free sugar, is the same as that in your honey. So if you are running away from free sugar, if you are running away from added sugar, and yet you still consume honey, you are not doing any better. The only benefit there is that honey has some anti-inflammatory and antioxidant benefit. Aside that, it's the same thing you are consuming. Apart from honey, others include high fructose corn syrup. It also has glucose and fructose, just that the fructose component is more. Maple syrup, molasses, and even cane sugar, they are all glucose and fructose. They are all sucrose. What is now the difference between naturally occurring sugar and the added sugar? Is there any difference? Yes, there are differences. The naturally occurring sugars in the fruits, in our vegetables, in our dairy products are consumed alongside other nutritive components and even fibers. So you are not just loading yourself with calorie alone, you are also adding vitamins, other things that the body will be needing, and the absorption rate is slower, in as much as the sugar is necessary for our body because the body needs it in form of glucose. We should consider the following. One, the glucose that our body needs for fuel, for energy, can be gotten from other foods aside the added sugar. Number two, the added sugar that is highly dense with calorie does not add to satiety. It doesn't make you get full. It won't stop you from eating more. You're just loading yourself with calorie without getting full. I took a bottle of Coke. It will not stop me from taking another thing. Now, the next thing to consider is when we eat sugar in any form, be it in a complex sugar form or in a simple sugar form, the body will not absorb it as glucose. Now, when it gets to the system, insulin are being secreted so that the sugar, the glucose that is being absorbed, can be stored as fat. Let's assume what you took or what you ate is just sugar alone, no other nutrient, just pure added sugar. The insulin will quickly mop up the glucose that is produced and send them to be stored, leaving the body with nothing, and this will cause a rebound hunger. You have eaten, you have loaded yourself with calorie, and now you are hungry again because the sugar you have taken in has already been mopped up by insulin. And if this thing continues, you keep on loading yourself with more sugar over and over and over and over again. The insulin will keep on doing the work. A time will come when insulin production will be overwhelmed, and this can result in insulin resistance, and that is where the problem usually starts from. I will advise that if for any reason you need to take added sugar or food high in added sugar, you should be eating in moderation. You should not indulge in it. You shouldn't make it a habit. Stuff it up with other foods like proteins, foods high in fiber, so that the quantity of the added sugar you will be eating will be less, as the fiber will help you to get full on time, so that you won't just be eating an empty calorie food. More so, your health should be considered. If you have a health challenge, like you have a risk factor of developing diabetes, you are obese, you have a family history of diabetes, well, I will advise you do away with added sugar. Then if you are diabetic, it is also very important to do away with added sugar. Now, to continue on this series, check out these videos here. See you in my next. Bye.